do this, I'll open two WinSSD windows, one for each card. There's no problem running multiple instances of Windows WinSSD. CMAC cards are get enumerated as CMAC 0, CMAC 1, CMAC 2, 0, CMAC 3. You'll notice that there's Matthew is using the asynchronous tab. I'm using the synchronous tab of WinSSD. We might be using a little bit different version of WinSSD, but we're both. His version could have worked just as well in this test as my version here. We provide the support for both synchronous and asynchronous testing with in every release of WinSSD. So CMAC 0. So open the first card. That's actually the bottom card, I believe, and hit settings where Matthew saw the traditional asynchronous serial options like baud rate, stop bits, parity, flow control, so forth. I got a lot different options here for the synchronous for a synchronous card. All options are software configurable on this card, even the electrical interface, where the 7205EC had an option to control that by a dip switch. I have to do that. I do that via software with this card. So I'll choose RS-232. For the framing, there's three major types of options here. One is traditional asynchronous framing, character sync framing, which would be kind of like IBM BiSync, monosync, type framing of data. I can do external sync, which is then we have SDLC. This is compatible with HDLC as well. I'll use that. And I'll just go over a few of these settings. This tells the card to use its own internal baud rate generator for clocking. This will tell it to output a clock signal on pin 24 to so the other side has timing information about where the bits, the timing of when the bits are being transmitted. Because with synchronous serial, you have to know the receiver has to know exactly where one bit stops and another bit starts in time. And it uses a clock wave that well, in this case, it'll be the receive port will be receiving a clock wave to its pin. I think it's pin 17. I think that from the pin 24, the bottom card, that will indicate to it when to sample the bits. I'll turn CRCs off because if you have a CRC error, you lose the data and it's harder to troubleshoot. And I'll use synchronous idle. And I'll put in a timeout of 300 milliseconds. And I'll set up the receive port in a compatible way. Right here, this setting is telling it to look to pin 17 for the clock signal. That RX timing source option. I'll go to the BERT tab on both windows.
Do you need to adjust the timeout on the second one?
I did. I might have to go back in.
Oh, that may have anything.
So, yeah, it's not this one. So the bottom card is transmitting, but the top card is not receiving. Or maybe I've got this backwards.
Well,
Try it the other way.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would be easier just to swap in software.
Okay. Actually, the transmitting card's on the right. The bottom card is actually CMAC 1 and the top card is CMAC 0. So you'll see the transmit frames are going up, and if I stop this and clear the count, the restart, you'll see they move up in tandem.